And we are live. Welcome to SEO news, GEO news, a little bit of AI, just anything you need to know if you're doing some type of search engine optimization or just search. My name is Frederick Drost. I work at ESCO as head of search and or SEO. And yeah, let's just dive into it. Sorry, last week I didn't publish a video. I've been busy, but I will go through a few things last week, and then we'll go through last week's news as well. So the previous one. So yeah, that would be week 14 if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, let's jump right in. There's a lot of good stuff here. So the week before, week 13, just a few things here that's important. The March 2026 core update was released. It's actually done now, so it does take a few weeks. So that's really, really interesting. And then again, there's no studies. I haven't found anything really um, like overall analysis of the March core update. But I will get to that probably in my next video. There'll be some things coming out. And I'll be checking our own traffic as well. Here is an interesting one from week 13. Google Agent is the biggest mind shift in SEO history. So very interesting. And again, this whole thing about agentic, the web becoming agentic and agents doing things for us. We'll get a little bit more into that. There's a few extra things for the previous week here, but I just wanted to get through to these here. And then apparently, this one ties well into another piece of news for that I'm supposed to cover this week here, but how Reddit is dominating B2B SaaS queries in Google, and thus AI overviews, at least to a certain extent. But it's dominating those, so that's interesting if you're in that space. But I'll get into that. Well, actually, we can talk about it right now. The Reddit effect didn't translate to AI citations, it seems. Corporate sites are dominating still. So this is from Kevin Indig, and he's looking at 100,000 AI citations. And corporate sites are structured sources still seem to dominate. Let's see here. UGC. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so I don't think it translates directly into AI. As well as we thought with Reddit, although it's still a powerful tool and we should not ignore it. But that's, like take everything with consideration and really look at your own niche. You can't take these general ideas from all these large analysis. Oh, Reddit's being mentioned this many times. Yes, but is it in your niche? So kind of do a little bit of dig diving for each of your niches if that's my advice at least. But let's get back up to the extra stuff here. We've got FTC here is ruling self-promotional listicles as a legal risk. So those, put up your own listicle of like you and your competitors, but put you in the top and make you look better as a legal risk, actually, self-promotional listicles. So watch out for those. I've always said that if you're honestly, just very honestly comparing your competitors, I think that's okay. But now there might be a legal risk. So again, have your legal team look into that. If you want to do that honest kind of marketing, I think that's not a bad thing, but you really have to make it honest, right? Next up here, a pretty good article on how consumers navigate high-stake purchases in AI mode. Very relevant for, again, high-stake purchases. I will let you read it. It's really, really good. Next up, this one. Pretty interesting. So there's the title takes it away. TurboQuant has the potential to fundamentally change how search and AI works. What is TurboQuant? It's a new algorithmic, technology that apparently can compress vectors. It can do vector search much faster, less memory. It'll make it feasible here. I'm reading to run semantic vector search and re-ranking across far more documents than currently in practice, instead of the top 10, 20, 30 results. It's expected to enable more high quality AI overviews and answers in search. Not that I'm a fan of those, as long as you appropriate your resources correctly and drive people to the websites. But hey, what I find interesting about this TurboQuant though is, a lot of what AI does is opening these sites and then looking at the content and then saying, hey, kind of chunkifying passages and then taking those, and it doesn't really take everything into context, is my understanding at least. And so maybe this will enable us, or AIs at least, to look at the entire document and then find passages and kind of understanding it in a better context. And I hope that's where we're going. I don't like this chunkifying and finding this semantically relevant passage and using that instead of, you're missing some context perhaps. So I find that not to be the best way. Here's a good article as well. What actually what oh sorry the science of what AI actually rewards. Right. I like this. It was I think it's done very well. This is the takeaway. Honestly, no universal citation formula. Good, very good. And I guess that is yeah, this whole chunkify and embedding and blah blah. And I just write good content and answered well. And there was one universal positive here that start with a direct declarative opening. But I feel like that's something that might also work in SEO, but also as user satisfaction. Like you're getting the answer of your complex query in the beginning, but then you're expanding on it, and then you can decide where you want to go and expand. So I feel like that's also just good writing if you're answering a question. But the main takeaways here is like there's no really one thing. I think date for AI citation and freshness is kind of a thing too. But yeah, good takeaway. I like that. I don't want like, oh, this works every time. Everyone will start doing it, and then AI has to adapt, and then we're back to that same cycle of search. Google search is going through with us, spammy SEOs that I'm not a part of. Um, let's see here. What went wrong? SEO. This one is pretty interesting. Let me show here. I want to give the correct attribution here. Gagan Gotra. Uh, Remember Reddit just translating with AI all their pages to other markets and it worked? Was it maybe because Google let them do it? Who knows? They had a backdoor deal with Google selling data. Um, who knows? But people have been trying to do the same, and it seems like that's not really paying off. So be careful, not just translating your stuff, scaling, and maybe it's the very, very fast scaling that it's the problem, or it's not being localized correctly. If you're just translating for translation's sake and not even checking them, is that the best way? I don't know. But again, this makes me fearful because maybe we would like to translate some of our very good content to other markets, and if we just do that, will that hurt us? Even though we use AI, of course we're going to use AI, but we have humans check it, right? Does that change anything? Is it the speed of the scaling that's the problem here? Like, I don't know, but just be careful is the good takeaway when doing these sorts of things. Again, if your goal is to game search by saying, oh, we'll just scale it up and we'll get more traffic from other, that's not good. If your goal is to gain customers from those markets, then you're not trying to game Google. And I think then in that case, you should definitely do it. Like, I think it's more of that kind of issue. Like that should be your first thought. If you're trying to game Google, watch out. It'll bite you back usually. This one as well, I love. Why agentic AI shopping feels unnatural and may not threaten SEO. So I've been a big thing. So if you remember, ChatGPT did the you can buy directly in ChatGPT functionality, and nobody's using it. People don't like it. They kind of had to shut it down. Um, I think people still want to go on the website. It's like having a shop. Like I like to go to my G-Shock shop and buy my G-Shock watch and talk and see and talk with people who know what they're talking about. And like it feels there's more trust involved. Like if something goes wrong, I bring it back. And I feel like even for just buying a few simple things like t-shirts, you want to go to that website and buy it. You want to know that you bought it from these guys, not just here's the agent. Like, okay, I feel like that's a behavior that's not going to be easy to get rid of, and it'll be easier for like low stake purchases, but for any luxury or more valuable products, no, people are not going to buy a $2,000 TV just by asking the agent to do it for them. No, that's not going to happen yet. Maybe far away in the future, maybe. But again, branding and marketing are still things. We're still monkeys. So I feel like yeah, it's just not. I don't feel like it's ever been threatening SEO, and we'll see. Time will tell. But I like this take, and here's a good article kind of explaining that opinion. A tool here to test if your page could be crawled, because remember Google has that 2 megabyte limit, and again, we've got Cyrus Shepard posting about this. Google came out with a little bit more details on this as well. So there's a cutoff for 2 megabytes. Now again, like let's be clear, it's the HTML file. We've maybe got some images and things, and I think it takes, when it comes to media and images, it takes a bit of a different route. But for the actual page itself, 2 megabytes is the cutoff. Now I wanted to check these, and I tested it and it didn't work. So I kind of reached out to the people to see But yeah, have a go, check it out, and if it doesn't work, just reach out to the people. And it's a good tool. I want it to work. So kudos to that. The real question is there other ways to check this? Pretty sure if you inspect, you go into network, and let's see here, and you should be able to network. You get your doc, so that's the HTML page. It is 0.9 kilobytes. Now, that's if this is the page that I cut off. Yes, if you then include all images, what does that add up to? I mean, this is a very small page, but you'll have to read into the specifics of exactly what's going on here. And you can see here, renders before the cutoff as it were a complete page. Everything else is ignored. External sources like CSS, JavaScript, excluding media, fonts, and few exotic files have their own limit. Great. So I don't know how many pages are above this limit when it comes to the actual pure page here. But excluding media, is media part of images? That's a good question because when you crawl with Screaming Frog, it has images and then media. So maybe look at the page, just the HTML doc, and then look at them plus the images and give you a good idea. And again, a lot of pages still use these like, hey, 2 megabyte images. So if that's part of the deal, yeah, you're being cut off. But I'm not sure. That would be weird because images can take up a lot of space. So I'll try and deep dive into this one. And then finally, we have an opinion piece, a new category actually added to my sheet here. Opinion. I love that. If you believe AI has made SEO relevant, look closer. So this is from the coolest cool. That's his name at least. Ross Simmons here. I like this take because he's talking about the click signals from the Google API leak, if you remember that. So the data points were impressions, bad clicks, good clicks, last, longest clicks. So what's happening with Google here, I think, is that we are now still, we're going to have to focus a lot more on user experience. People who actually go and visit your content, are they happy with it? Do they find what they want? And those signals will matter a lot and sent back to Google, which might then be used. Will that be used as a citation AI overviews? Will that be used in a web search for ChatGPT? So like user experience kind of can correlate all the way up to your content being cited in AI, which I find fascinating. It's not all, of course, but it's one of those factors that I feel like a lot of SEOs still ignore, and we have to think that way instead of, well, chunkify content for the AI. No, what about the user? Like, just think about that. So I kind of like that. I hate that it takes like a huge analysis and an API leak to focus on user experience when that should be the case. Humans are still using your site and you want them to use it. But hey, that's me. Anyway, that was today's opinion piece. Thank you for watching. I'll try and keep posting every week or at least bi-weekly. Let's see how I change the format. But, all the links and descriptions are in the video description. So go there, read closer, learn the stuff, and keep you up to date. This was Frederick signing off. Enjoy the rest of the week and see you on the other side.